what's going on, guys? I figured since motherfuckers been dragging on doing like an interview, at least with me, I'll do one by myself. So we got Vanessa behind the camera. She's gonna be being the questionnaire.
All right, Pablo. How do you handle your losses?
Should I take them on the chin? Not to sound like stereotypical or whatever, generic. But like every loss is a lesson. There's always something to learn. Every day is a lesson, even better. One day you're up, one day you're down.
What motivates you when training gets tough?
First off, I probably like the most immature version of me is the fear of being a bitch, and fear of like looking at the mirror and being like, damn, I am a bitch. And really the only way that can make me feel like that is if I know that I can go that 10%. And I only went, 90%. I only went 100%. I gave effort, but I didn't give that good enough effort. But I would say me not being selfish, 100% my daughter. In that situation, you hear that David Goggins in your head, who's gonna carry the boats, but it's different for me. I'm a father. Who's gonna take care of my kid? Who's gonna feed my kid if I'm not here? If I can't do this, if I can't find success.
How do you stay disciplined outside the ring?
That is actually one thing that I am working on, baby. But the easiest thing is just to like cheat as much as you can. And that sounds weird. And I'm not talking about like cheat on discipline. I'm talking about cheat on the habits that you have. I myself, I enjoy smoking some of the devil's lettuce. So, in that sense, it's tough trying to stop because of my lungs. But at the same time, you cheat, I don't gotta stop cold turkey. I can enjoy some nice edible gummies and then be fine. So that kind of situation.
How would you describe your fighting style?
Oh, I would say definitely walk them down type shit. Not to give myself too much gas. I like looking at Dustin Poirier's fighting style, and I like looking at Bivol's activity. So if I had to say, I would say form-wise, throwing punches, throwing them hooks, I try to resemble Dustin Poirier. I like how he sits down, I like how he looks. But when it comes from like volume and all that, I want to be fluid like Bivol is. So yeah.
Did you ever think about quitting? If so, what kept you going?
Yeah, I have. This was nothing to do with like training or anything. But it's more looking at the life that I could give my daughter if I play it safe and I don't decide to fight. You know what I mean? That's like the biggest risk is what's gonna happen to my health and if I gotta take care of my daughter. But looking at that, it's like, okay, well, this is obviously the narrow road. I've never been a normal person. I've never met anybody who's called me normal. So I'm gonna do the hardest job line in life for the biggest reward. And if I die on the way, I die. I don't care, But yeah.
Okay. How do you prepare yourself mentally before a fight?
Okay, got like a lineup. You gotta watch Rocky 1, then you gotta watch Rocky 2. Once you watch those both, then you're gonna swap over to Rocky, I think it's 5, when Drago kills Apollo Creed. And then you're gonna watch, I think it's the last one where Rocky actually boxes. He boxes the younger dude. And then he has that conversation with his son about life not being it. And that the moral of life isn't to find happiness, it's to get punched and keep moving forward, to get hit and keep going, because that's all that matters. You don't quit until you stop. But other than that, I just, these guys are doing a pretty good job keeping my name in their mouth. So I've never been somebody who likes people talking about me. So I hope they know it's working against them in that sense. It's giving me motivation to go in there and do what I need to do.
Who was your biggest influence growing up?
My biggest influence is gonna be, it's actually a pair. It's gonna be my father, Ernesto Matias, and his younger brother, Luis Matias. I grew up hearing about my dad. You hear about from the cousins. They never got a lick back on my dad. My dad walks in the room, beats their ass, walks away. My dad's like 10, 15 years older than them. They're in their like 40s, still can't touch my dad. He's in the 60s. But his partner in crime was my uncle, rest in peace. But in that sense, you know, I never got to see them fight. I always heard stories. So that's my idea of a man. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna give my dad the show that I would have wanted to see him in his prime.
Do you ever feel pressure before big fights?
Yes. So me personally, I am coming into this fight 0-0, so no amateur fights. But I guess that's like the big thing of this. There's been a lot of talk coming my way. Oh, Jeff is 7-10. Jeff is whatever. The most important thing that I hear from that is the 10. He's fought 17 times, great. He's lost 10 of them. And it's not like he's going through there 7 out of 7 KOs. No, he's not. So, you know, I got a record too. It's just not one in which is documented. So it's fine. I do a lot of hard sparring, do it all the time. Ain't nothing different but another Saturday night, April 4th.
Now, last question. What legacy do you want to leave behind?
I do not want to be loved by all. But the people who love me, I want them to love me for the right reasons. I want them to love me because of how I treat my family, how I treat everybody. But through seeing that, understanding that that's not me as a person, that's me with my Redeemer, Jesus Christ, in my life. You know what I mean? He's turned me over. I'm a rock. He turned me, he made me soft. But that being said, I want to be known as good, but not safe. I'm a dog. I'll bite you. That's it.
No, and then
Yeah. All that to be said, I'm really hoping I get to see you April 4th, 2026. It's a Saturday, $30 admission. If you want to see it online, you want to stream it on the TV, had the watch fucking party with you, take a couple beers in that hoe. $25 for the pay-per-view, baby. Hey, rep the big Pablo Matías, Ernesto in the middle. Already know PM, it's nighttime. Fuck out of here.